This lesson will be about finding area of a triangle using trig functions. And in this case, I'm going to use the sine function. So what I'd like to do is develop that by using this triangle ABC. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a perpendicular down here, because when we find the formula we're familiar with when it comes to finding area is that we just take area is equal to 1/2 base, in this case the base is b, times the height. I could have dropped the perpendicular to any of the sides. We'll use b as our base. Now what I'm going to do is find out what h is in terms of the other information I have here in trigonometry. So if I look at this triangle here, this is a right triangle right here. And so what I get is that the formula for that is that sine of A is equal to the opposite side, in this case, which is h, over the hypotenuse, which is c. So what I get is that sine of A, if I multiply by c on both sides, I get c times sine of A equals the height. Now if I substitute that in over here, I get the area equal to 1/2 times b, the base of it, times the height, which is c times sine of A. And what I get is a formula that I can now use that doesn't involve the height at all. It just involves the sides and the angle. And this, what we use here is if we have an angle and two sides, that angle is the included angle. That's the situation where we've talked about before, where you have side, angle, side. Notice that side C is this side, side B is this side, and the angle A is between the two of them. It's included. So if you've got the included angle and you've got two sides, you can use this formula, and I'm just going to write it out, that area equals 1/2 times the two sides, B times C, times sine of that included angle. Now that would work also. We could do the same thing if this were A and C, and that we would have, in that case, we would have the included angle for A and C would be angle B. So you could do it with any one of them. So here I've got an example where I've got an included angle between two sides. The formula tells us that the area is just going to equal 1/2 times the two sides multiplied together, 14 times 10, times the sine of that angle, 55 degrees. Let's go ahead and calculate that. So we get 1/2 times 14 times 10 times sine of 55, and that gives me an area of 57.3406, etc. So I'm going to just round that to one decimal place. 57.3 is my area for that triangle. So in order to find the area of a triangle using trig, you have to use the included angle between two sides. If by chance you don't have the angle between the two sides, you might have to use the law of sines or maybe the law of cosines to calculate what the other angle is to make sure you got the angle between the two sides. But then you can go ahead and calculate what the area is using the formula of 1/2 times the two sides given to you times the sine of that included angle.